2, 3. MEDEA!
Darling Tina, you're gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And can we have a round of applause for our lovely hosts, Tina and Scout, who have checked the immortal goddess of Bollywood, Nargis. In Persian, it means daffodil, and let's not do an etymology lesson. That's going to take hours and hours, and I'm not one of those boring Oxford professors who will bore you to death. And also embezzle public funds, which they seem to be doing back in Westminster, and they seem to be doing back in merry old India as well. I'm Nargis, and lovely to meet you all. I think Scout has, this is INFECTIOUS radio show, so can we have a round of applause for this amazing radio show Scout has been doing since ages? Like pre-pandemic times to post-pandemic era. I think we are in pandemic era. Oh well. Anyways, so Scout has given me a list of, Scout has asked me to answer some fan mail on the radio, and seeing all of you amazing fans here, I'm gagged, as what the gays say, as what the dolls say. So first question is Nargis, didn't you die on 3rd May 1981 of pancreatic cancer? How did you come back? Well, so story time. I'm going to tell 2 stories. So first story time is the answer is, short but long story short, twinks. well, I'm a succubus, so me, Madhubala, Meena Kumari, we are all the succubus queens of Bollywood, and so is Paveen Babi, and so is Zeenat Aman, but she's still alive, so she's well, you don't have to tell anyone about that. Sure, Zeenat, we won't tell anyone, but oh no, I've already told. Anyways, who cares? But she's on Instagram, so she can deal with it. She has social media managers and everything. Zeenat can deal with it. But yes, me, Madhubala, and Meena Kumari are the prima donnas, the queen of queens, the succubus queens. And how do these queens survive? Now, as everyone knows, dolls survive on estrogen. But you know what's the main ingredient behind estrogen? Can anyone guess? If anyone guesses, they'll get an signed autograph from me and are invited. They get VIP pass to my tour which has started today actually, which has started in Glasgow today. So you get VIP pass to my tour in my reunion tour, my revive tour. So can anyone guess what is estrogen made of?
Sorry.
Okay, you know what? Cancel, all of you. Huh? I don't even guess. Okay, estrogen is made from the blood of a young, cisgender white man. Oh my gosh, I said cisgender. Oh no, is Elon gonna cancel me? Is that muskmelon gonna cancel me? But isn't he a melon? Can't we just squash him like a squiggly little melon he is? Ouch! Well, that's melon gone. He can't cancel me now. He can't. Can he? No. Anyways, I was so this twink, so I was buried in Bombay, and you know what, I was just I had to go in hiding, like a succubus queen, you can't just pretend to be mortal for long. And then this twink decided, all those back in California, you have those West Coast colleges, art school colleges, you have this art school twink, decided to drop into Bombay, decided to make Bombay, India his muse, he thought he would see Taj Mahal there. And he decided to, pay tribute to me. Apparently he had seen too many of my films and he thought I was a noir film actress. Noir film, I'll give him one noir film. Anyways, I gave him a noir film. He came to my grave and he wanted to do some I don't know, he was apparently he heard. This is the problem with these West Coast gays, these art school gays. They think everything is art. No, sweetie, nothing is art. Shush, you're not art, you're trash. Anyways, this twink thought that he would approach my grave and try to dig up my corpse and try to take a whiff of my hair or something. But he didn't realize, the moment he started digging, I was right, it's a twink. I can smell a twink like this. Yeah, a twink. So I was hey sweetie, do you want to have a night of fun? He's ah. And that was all he said. And that twink became that's him, that pile of ashes you see there. Tina, can you call the disposal services? I know they don't listen to the dolls, but maybe if you shout at them, they might listen to us. Yeah. Anyways, Anyways, so that's how I came back to life through twinks. Anyways, a twink a day keeps the succubus queen alive, minute by minute, hour by hour, century by century, and millennium by millennium. That's what it is. Anyways, now back to reality. Now, like, I had to come back to reality. I was like, oh my gosh, Bombay, the sweltering heat of Bombay, like 30, it's hot, like 38 degrees Celsius to 48 degrees Celsius every day in the summer. How dare that twink dig me up in summer of all things? I was like, ugh. And my useless husband, he had to like bury me in this like gorgeous lehenga set, and I was just like, no, that's not me. I love my like sari, you know, the beautiful cotton saris of like, which feels like air. Like the moment I walk, I was like, I feel like I'll float away in the Bombay sea breeze. But that didn't happen. So I had to like make a crop top out of that twink's remaining clothes. I know, a fashion disaster, but she had to salvage herself. And then I went to, so I have a daughter called Namrata, and I decided to become a friend called Nimrara. I decided to become Nimrara from South Delhi, and you know, became an influencer. So usually if you see me, on Instagram, I'll be Shania from South Delhi. So that's me, Shania from South Delhi. And the Dollies of Dolls. And now I've heard that Glasgow needed me, so I decided the Dolls Association of Glasgow, headed by Tina, Kiko, and company. And they decided, like, we need you, the dolliest of dolls, to teach us how to be the actual OG doll. And I was like, you know what? I'll do it for free. I'm gonna come from all my dolls, and here I came. And I arrived in Glasgow, and there's like, so much. I love Glasgow. I love you all. Can we give a big shout to Glasgow? Can we? Anyways, Glasgow has a lot of twinks, jocks, but you know what? I decided to spare the twinks and go for jocks, because jocks are, you know, like they're plenty. They're much more. Twinks are rare, but jocks are much more plenty. So I just like, I live in the West End as West End's dolls. So like. But that's what the jocks know me as, but what they don't actually know after night is I'm like, I'm the nightmare. So if you hear about any rugby, if you have any rugby players and you want them to go missing, just send them my way. I become more immortal. Anyways, jocks are my new thing, but I don't mind an occasional twink. Who doesn't? Anyways, well, ages ago, so someone was asking, now the third question is, the final question everyone wants to ask me is, tell us an interesting anecdote from your Bollywood days. Well, this is a funny story. So, before I was married to Sunil Dutt, and I was having a thing with Raj Kapoor, everyone knows about this. Everyone knows that me and Raj Kapoor had a thing for 9 years, and he refused to divorce that woman, and he was like, oh, no, but I love you, and you know this is polyamory, and you know this, and I was just like, sweetie, that's not how it works. She doesn't know about me, she doesn't know about us. How is that polyamory? And he's like, well, I can't give up on her, and I like you. And I was just like, Raj Kapoor, you fucking... Anyways, I dropped him like the sack of potatoes he was, and moved on with my career, and married Sunil Dutt, and I have 3 lovely children. I don't know about their careers now. I decided not to bother because I'm the kind of mother who's like, you know what, I don't care. Anyways, now this guy, there used to be this guy in the Bollywood. He used to call himself as a developer. He used to be an investor, and he used to be very integrated in the community. He's like, and he's there these days. And these days he comes around. He's there these days, and these days he comes to all the queer circles and says like, oh, you know, let's community, inclusivity, diversity, and he, you know, just throws these words around. Anyways, he was taking me for a drive. I was going back from a show. I had a lovely show. I had an amazing shoot, everything, pens across the boards and everything. And this guy was like, Nargis, let me drive you back home. And it was like after Valentine's Day. I was like, okay, I should have noticed that. Like the fact he asked me to drive, he drove me back on Valentine's Day, that is a bit weird. Anyways, he drove me back, and then he kept telling me about how he ran into this gentleman who has a thing for dolls. I was like, can you say that again? Oh, I met a gentleman on Grindr, and he has a thing for dolls. I'm like, you met a gentleman on Grindr who has a thing for dolls. What do you think that thing means, Mr. whatever your name is? And what do you think that means, Mr. So Progressive? He's like, oh, he just loves the dolls, he's just actively seeking them out. Actively seeking dolls out? What do we call that? What do we call that? And he's like, and I was like, listen, this guy is a fucking chaser. This guy's a little chaser. And why are you calling him? He's like, oh no, I'll bring him to you. You should give him some therapy, he'll become a part of the queer community, he'll become friends with us. And I was just like, you know what, I can escape. But then this guy's like, you know what, I'm gonna bring him for the awards ceremony, for the Filmfare Awards ceremony, and introduce him as another investor. He'll become integrated. And I was just like, I can't have this happening. So I had to organize an intervention. And this intervention was going to be through a mind-breaking performance at the Filmfare Awards of 1965. And can we have the DJ hit it?